Please like, share and subscribe our channel to learn and enjoy our free online educational videos from class nursery to 10. Please click the bell icon to get all new updated videos.
Chapter 4. Heat. Hot and cold. So many objects around us are either hot or cold. The property that helps us to understand the difference between hot and cold objects is heat. In fact, heat is a form of energy. If heat is supplied to an object, it becomes hot. On the other hand, if we take away heat from an object, it becomes cold. Temperature, a reliable measure of finding out how hot or cold a body is, its temperature. Hence, the degree of hotness or coldness of a body is measured in terms of temperature. Upgraded info. We feel cold during winters because of the temperature of the surroundings is much lower than our body temperature, and our body loses heat to the surroundings. While in summers, in response to high environmental temperature, our body gains heat from the surroundings. As our body temperature rises, we begin to sweat. The evaporation of water from sweat removes large quantity of heat from the body and cools the body. In this way, sweating helps to maintain our body temperature. Units of temperature. Temperature of a substance can be measured in degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit and Kelvin. All the three units are used for different purposes. Relation between degree Celsius and Kelvin. A temperature in degrees Celsius can be converted in Kelvin just by adding 273 in its value. Relation between degree Celsius and degree Fahrenheit. The following formula shows the relationship between degree Celsius and degree Fahrenheit. Degree Celsius upon 5 is equal to degree Fahrenheit minus 32 divided by 9. Factopedia. Boiling point of water in Fahrenheit scale is 212 degree Fahrenheit and on Kelvin scale is 373 K and 100 degrees Celsius on Celsius scale. Thermometer. The word thermometer is derived from Greek language in which thermo stands for warm while meter stands for to measure. Hence, the device used to measure the temperature of a body is called thermometer. There are different types of thermometer. Let us study about them. Clinical thermometer. A clinical thermometer is used to measure body temperature. The normal temperature of our body is 37 degrees Celsius, that is 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit, and may vary only by 3 degrees Celsius or 4 degrees Celsius. Construction. Clinical thermometer consists of a short, narrow uniform glass tube with a bulb filled with mercury at one end. The bulb is attached to a small tube with a narrow bore. This small tube is called capillary tube. The capillary tube has a constriction or kink just above the bulb. This kink does not allow the mercury to fall on its own. Reading a clinical thermometer. To read clinical thermometer, firstly note the temperature difference indicated between two bigger marks. For this, count the number of small divisions between two bigger marks. Suppose the bigger marks read 1 degree and between two bigger marks there are 10 small divisions. Then value of one small division is equal to difference of temperature between two big marks upon number of small divisions between two big marks is equal to 1 upon 10 degrees Celsius is equal to 0.1 degrees Celsius. Thus, one small division of clinical thermometer can measure 0.1 degrees Celsius accurately. Using a clinical thermometer, wash the thermometer with antiseptic solution. Hold it firmly and give some jerks so that the mercury goes down below 35 degrees Celsius. Now, place the bulb of thermometer either under the tongue or in the armpit of the person whose temperature is to be taken. Wait for 2 minutes. Take out the thermometer and note the reading up to the point where the level of mercury coincides with the scale. This is the body temperature. The temperature should always be stated with the unit degrees Celsius. Precautions to be taken while reading clinical thermometer. Wash the thermometer with antiseptic solution before and after use. Give some jerks to the thermometer to make sure that the level of mercury falls below 35 degrees Celsius. It is safer to place the thermometer into the armpit because mercury is a toxic substance. Hold the thermometer firmly because it is made from fine glass. Do not hold the bulb of thermometer while reading it. Factopedia. Substances which have poisonous effect are called toxic substances. Digital thermometer. These thermometers give accurate readings. They are easy to use and there is no fear of breakage as they have a plastic body. The additional advantage that these thermometers have is no use of mercury, which is a toxic chemical. Laboratory thermometer. This is used in laboratory. It is used to measure the temperature of boiling water, ice, melting and boiling points of various substances. The range of an ordinary laboratory thermometer is -10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Construction. It consists of a long thin glass tube with a long thick walled capillary tube inside it. At one end of the tube, a thin walled bulb containing mercury is attached while the other end is sealed. The bore of the capillary tube is made very fine so that a small change in the temperature produces an appreciable change in the length of the mercury column in the capillary tube. Various effects of heat. Heat can change the state of a substance. If you heat ice cubes, you will see the ice cubes melting. Here, solid state is changing in liquid state. Heat causes expansion. Expansion in metals. Metal expands on heating. That is why rail tracks have gaps at the places where two sections are joined. Since the tracks are made of iron and due to the heat of sun and the heat of friction between train and tracks, iron starts expanding. If there are no gaps, the rail tracks will bend, causing accidents. The gaps provide the iron track space for expansion. Expansion in liquids. Liquids also expand on heating. The mercury in the thermometer expands when put in contact with a hot body. Expansion in gases. Gases expand on heating. It can be experienced by keeping an inflated balloon in the sun for some time. It will grow in size as the air inside it expands on taking heat from the surroundings. The phenomenon of expansion in substances by the effect of heat is referred to as thermal expansion. Mechanism of heat transfer. Heat always flows from a hotter object to a colder object. It means the transfer of heat takes place only if there is a difference of temperature between the objects. The transfer of heat continues to take place till both the objects attain the same temperature. At this condition, flow of heat stops and the temperature difference becomes zero. In this state, the bodies are said to be in state of thermal equilibrium. Heat transfer takes place by three different ways. Conduction. Conduction is a process of transfer of heat through solid materials from the hotter end to the colder end. There is no actual movement between the particles of the material. It is only the transfer of heat between the molecules which brings about the change in temperature. Factopedia. Materials with low thermal conductivity are used for preventing heat loss and are called lagging materials. For example, glass wool in geysers. Convection, a mode of heat transfer in which there is actual movement of molecules of the substance being heated, is called convection. This method of heat transfer occurs in fluids, that is, liquids and gases. Factopedia. Convection currents are set in the molten outer core inside the earth due to heat from the solid inner core, having a temperature of about 4000 degrees Celsius. It is thought that these convection currents generate the Earth's magnetic field. Radiation, the method of heat transfer that does not require a medium, is called radiation. The heat from the sun reaches us through the method of radiation. Difference among conduction, convection and radiation. Conduction, convection, radiation. 1. In this process, heat transfers takes place from one point to the other, such that there is no actual motion of the particles of the medium. In convection, this process involves actual movement of molecules of the substance. In radiation, this is the process of heat transfer without the need of a medium. All hot objects give away heat by radiation. In conduction, material medium is necessary for this process. In convection, material medium is necessary for this process. In radiation, no material medium is required. In conduction, it is not possible in vacuum. Convection, it is not possible in vacuum. Radiation, it is possible in vacuum. Conduction, the transfer of heat can be in any direction along any path. Convection, the transfer of heat takes place in vertically upward direction only. Radiation, the transfer of heat is in all directions along straight line paths. Conduction, the process is slow. Convection, the process is faster than conduction. Radiation, the process is fastest. Conductors and insulators, materials that allow heat to flow through them easily, are called conductors. All the metals are conductors, but the rate of the heat flow varies in different metals. Materials that do not conduct heat are called bad conductors or insulators. Water and air are poor conductors of heat.